Hey guys, today I want to look at 3 ways to overcome, to get through the chaos of life. I have had an extremely chaotic last week. My son was involved in a bad car accident, had to go to the ER. A few days later, we had a big snowstorm and he got stuck in my wife's car and we had to get that towed out. A few days later, we had a really big snowstorm and he got stuck again and we had to get him towed out. During that time, my pipes had frozen. We had 33 degrees below zero weather. I had to go in the crawl space and fix the pipes. During that same time, my wife got sick. It has just seemed like one thing after another. And I imagine there are people listening right now, and you can relate. Like the real world really is a hard place sometimes. Life really is challenging. So here's some simple things that we can do to help manage our lives when things are chaotic. And the first thing we need to do is be aware of our self-talk. And I know that that sounds oversimplified, and that is a tool that we talk a lot about in recovery. But the way we talk about ourselves is really important. If I tell myself that I can't handle this, I probably can't, and that's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. One thing my wife used to always say is, we're going to get through this. No matter what it was, she would say, oh, we're going to get through this. And I remember early on in our marriage thinking, I'm frustrated with when you say that, of course we're going to get through this. Like, unless we die, we're going to get through this. But later on, I realized this is her positive self-talk. This is the way that she is coaching herself through this. Yes, life is hard, but we can do hard things. That's one thing my wife often says. Life is hard, but we can do hard things. Yes, this is hard, but we're gonna get through this. And sometimes we need to coach ourselves and certainly be aware if we find ourselves catastrophizing. This is the worst thing in the world. It's probably not. You know, if we find ourselves saying, I can't do this, that's not true. I can do this. This is hard, but I can do it. This will never end. The world is out to get me. All of these things are lies that will keep us in bondage and keep our anxiety level up and not let us get through this chaotic time. So, one, if we just really listen to the way that we're talking to ourselves, and two, make sure that we're talking positively to ourselves. Now, another tool that we can use to get through chaos is gratitude. So I was driving down the road after all of this crazy stuff had happened. I was going to the next town over and I was looking out my window. It was still like, you know, 20 below zero or something like that. But I was looking out my window and it was beautiful. It was like a winter snowscape. And I'm a spiritual person. I started to pray and I was like, God, thank you. Like, this is really pretty. Then I started thinking about all of the things that I'm grateful for. Because again, I think sometimes we focus on what we don't have rather than what we do have. We think about what's going wrong rather than what's going right. And I just started really washing my mind with good things, washing my mind with this is what I'm thankful for. This is what is going well right now. And not only gratitude, I would use the tool of good at. I think sometimes this can be helpful because the world rarely gives you a pat on the back, right? Our world and our culture is good at pointing its finger and saying, you're not good enough. But it doesn't say, you know what, you're really good at this. You know what, you're a really good mom. You know what, you're a really decent guitar player. You know what, you're really good at drawing or painting, or you're really good at fixing things. You're really good at managing things or figuring things out. And I think it's a good thing from time to time to remind ourselves not only what I'm grateful for, but what I'm good at. And those are the tools that I want to leave us with today. Not only identifying your negative self talk, but make sure that you're talking to yourself positively. And then use the tools of gratitude and good at, and see if that doesn't help you get through this chaotic lives. Guys, I'm Brian on YouTube at New Life Recovery. I love you. God bless you. And until next time, be well.